Girly Girl Bookworm. So today for you, I have a March book subscription book haul, which I typically don't put my book subscription in a separate book haul, but you will see why once I get started. So I have two book subscriptions to talk to you about today. I have Aardvark Books, Aardvark Book Club. They are a new and upcoming book club coming from Canada, and they are very similar to Book of the Month, where every month they offer you 5 book selections to choose from. I believe it's $17.99 a month for a brand new hardcover, which is cool because that's still cheaper than a regular priced hardcover. They are really trying to get some new and books that you really haven't heard of before in your life. So it's kind of nice because I feel like with Book of the Month, it's great because they offer you these new exciting releases, but typically they're books that you've already heard of and you know to anticipate them anyways. The thing with Aardvark is I feel like they pick ones that are kind of underrated and you wouldn't expect them to choose. So Aardvark is really great, and they are partnering with me this month to share these books. I have 3 to share with you, and if you are interested in starting Aardvark, you can get your first book for $4. That's including shipping. Your first book for $4, and you just have to use the code Nicole, Nicole. And I don't know if it has to be in all caps. When they sent it to me, it's in all caps. So there you go, Nicole, and you'll get your first box for $4. Free shipping. I feel like you can't pass that up. And that is for the month of March. So if you're interested in it, I would highly check it out. Right now, the only thing that they don't have is the skip a month option. But I have heard that if you are interested in the selection, you can kind of unsubscribe and resubscribe until they figure out how to include that as an option. But like I said, they're a new company, so bear with them. They've only been around for a few months now. But so far, I've worked with them twice, and I've really enjoyed my experience both times. So, let me just pull them out. They were underneath the other pile. So the first book that they sent me was The Dream Builders by Oindrilla Mukherjee. I'm butchering that. All right. Now, the thing that I think is really interesting about the way they do books is the synopsis isn't in here for this one, but the synopsis is on the back, which is kind of cool because hardcovers I feel like aren't normally like that. So this is about a woman who has been living in the U.S., and she returns home to India because she is trying to mourn her mother, and she kind of comes back to this whole new world that she wasn't expecting. It's nothing like when she left it. And it says that it's written in 10 different perspectives, and it explores class divisions, gender roles, and stories of survival within a society that is constantly changing and is also consistently becoming more Americanized. So I think that sounds really interesting. I really don't know much about that, so I feel like this will be something that I could learn a lot from, and I'm obsessed with this cover. This peacock feather. I love it. I love it. And they also sent me How to Turn into a Bird by Maria Jose Ferrada. And it's a translated book. And again, same thing. The synopsis isn't there, but it is on the back. And I will say something about these books too is they are super buttery. And if you take the dust jacket off, they are just as smooth as can be. There's no cloth. They are just they're so smooth. I could just rub my face on it. Beautiful quality book. So this one is following Miguel. And he's 12 in Chile, and he's enchanted by his uncle's unusual job to take care of a Coca-Cola billboard. And what's even weirder is apparently his uncle has made a home in this billboard. And he kind of has this questioning of did my uncle lose his mind? Or as everybody else thinks, or is he able to see things that other people aren't? So it just sounds so interesting and different. And it says, beautifully details the life and lessons of an unconventional man and the boy who loves him. And just sounds like such a sweet, wholesome read. It's short and tiny. And I just think it'll be really, it's going to be such a fast read. I just like half flipped through the pages. I'm going to read this soon. I'm going to read it soon. And then the last one they sent me was The New Life by Tom Crew. This one has a synopsis on the inside. I think this is one of their first ones. This is a debut novel. It says 2 men, both in complicated marriages, risk their livelihoods and their lives to write a revolutionary book in defense of gay love. And it takes place in 1894, which I think sounds really interesting. So I don't know a whole ton about it, but this cover looks fascinating, and I'm intrigued. So thank you so much to Aardvark. Like I said, if you want your first book for $4, you go to Aardvark. I will leave the link down below. You type in Nicole, you'll get your first book for $4. What else can you ask for? That's such a great deal. The other thing that I wanted to show you is Book of the Month. I talk about Book of the Month all the time. My link is always down below. You can get your first book box for $5, so just $1 more, and you got yourself a Book of the Month box too. They're another service that I've been a member since like 2015 or something like that. Like, I've been a member forever. And they do the same thing. They offer you 5 to 7 books a month. You get to pick one for your book box. You could usually pick up to 3. I think Aardvark is also up to 3. The Book of the Month is doing something different now. Right now, it's in the testing stage, but I have a feeling it's going to get approved. But if you're a book BFF, which means that you have gotten at least 12 book boxes, typically you get rewards of the fact that you get to customer service faster. You get a book for free on your birthday month. You get like a free add-on. When they announce the top 5 of the year, you get a free one. So how awesome is that, right? That sounds perfectly good. Now they're testing out the theory of, if you're a book BFF member, not only getting 3 books in your book box, but 5. Dangerous, right? Dangerous. My goal is, if they do introduce this, that I'm not going to get 5 every month, but you better believe when they're testing this out and they gave me the option to get 5, I got 5. So I wanted to share that with you, because I feel like that's not going to happen often. It's not going to happen on the regular, but I wanted to share that with you because I thought that was such a cool perk, and I'm hoping that sticks around. My box only came slightly destroyed because somebody decided to deliver it under my overhang of my porch, so it just dripped water because it had just snowed all over my box. So that's the only reason why my box didn't survive as good as it should have. But if they do it the right way, the box should be good. So I have a feeling that they'll approve this. I think that they'll benefit from it. So these are the 5 I chose. I chose Rootless by Crystal Zara Apaya. Now this one sounded, and it reminded me slightly of Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. And this is kind of like an accidental pregnancy between like a married couple that kind of like are in like an argument about it. It says a provocative debut novel about marriage in crisis that asks, can you ever be rooted in a home that's on a brink of collapse? And it just sounded really interesting, and I was here for it. Like I said, the minute I like kind of got vibes of Before I Let Go, I was like, I have to try it. And this cover is stunning. Like I had to get it. All I saw was like marriage in crisis, and I was like, I'm coming for you. Then I grabbed Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson. This one I feel like has been all over Instagram, and like this cover is beautifully stunning. And this one I believe is like a family, and I have to say that there's like an inheritance. We're really just looking at family drama, which I love family drama. I don't like my own family drama, but I will read about your family drama. So I think that'll be really good. Ooh, that just like messed with my coloring so much. Then I have some questions. I have some questions for you by Rebecca Mackay. Now, I read The Great Believers, and I enjoyed it. And so I was excited to see her come out with something else. This one is kind of like a true crimey, more suspenseful story than The Great Believers was. Great Believers was very like historical fiction, and was it historical? It had to be, because it was following like the AIDS pandemic. epidemic. And this one's more like a crime-based thing where a podcast, I believe, is going to be looking into a, like, previous thing that happened at a boarding school. Yeah, there was a death at a boarding school, and then it's, like, years later, and, like, one of the girls, like, comes back to, like, work at the school, and then I think they start looking into it. I've heard amazing things about it, so I'm hoping that I like it, because it's a chunker. The one main book that I, like, threw all the chips on the table for, because I knew that I wanted this book immediately in my hands, and that is The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. Now, I loved The Lost Apothecary. It was one of those books that I didn't think I'd like. I remember skipping on that month. I was like, I don't want that one. I don't think I skipped for the whole month, but I was like, I don't want that one. And then I read it, and I loved it, and then I had to buy it for myself because I needed it. So I threw it in another box. So then I had it, and so when I saw that they had her new book, I was like, I'm not sleeping on it this time. I am getting, like, I even voted for The Lost Apothecary as my favorite book of the year that it was out. So it's why it was in the top 5, because I voted for it. So I was excited for her to have a second book, that's for sure. And then this one says, amid the shrouded parlors of Victorian London, 2 daring women hunt for the truth and justice in the perilous art of conjuring the dead. I don't know anything else. I don't want to know anything else. I don't want to. I just want to know that I loved her last book, so I'm excited to see what she does with this one. And the last book that I got from Book of the Month was Lone Woman by Victor Lavelle. Now, I'm a little nervous because I picked this one solely, like, cover, historical fiction, and then I didn't know until after the fact that apparently this is a horror book. I didn't read close enough when I was, like, perusing my options, but I think I'll still be okay. Somebody told me on Instagram that it's not that scary, so hopefully I'll be fine. It says, a woman with a past, a mysterious trunk, a town on the edge of nowhere, embracing new vision of the American West. Sounds good. It's 1915, and Adelaide is in trouble. Dun, dun, dun. I know. It just sounded good, so I'm excited. There were more books that I wanted. I wanted more. I should not be wanting more because this 5 was enough. But that just goes to show, like, they pick really good choices. So, like, between Aardvark and Book of the Month, I feel like you can't go wrong with either one of them. First book for Book of the Month for $5. Code is always down below. It's a referral link. And then Aardvark books, if you want your first book for $4, you go over there, you type in Nicole for your promo code, and there you go, $4 book. I would just do it just for a $4 book. But that's just me. Alright, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you ever have any questions about these book subscription services, please reach out, send me a comment, DM me on Instagram, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye, everybody.